Oh, hello, everybody. How is it going tonight? This is Jeff Smith with Love the Game 24/7. Glad to have you all with me tonight. And so we're going to get ready. Hope you all can hear me. Yep. We're going to get ready to ride this train with Love the Game 24/7 Sports. Looking forward to being with you again tonight. Are you all ready to ride that train with me tonight with Coach Smith? I'm excited about going live again for the third night in a row. Dropping some more knowledge about recruiting. So I appreciate you rolling with me tonight. All right. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for rolling with Coach Smith tonight. And I'll give it a few minutes before I get going. Just getting everything set up here. Thought I had it all ready. My apologies, and uh, I'm looking forward to our 30-day challenge of going live and getting some great content out here. Um, Great content out here about parents and student athletes. Get that echo out of here. And I want to be sure it will be about maybe 30, 45 minutes tonight. And I'm definitely hyped up and excited to keep it going, um, growing my audience. And I'll just give it a few more minutes to let some people get joined in here because I get a little more organized and tidied up. Yeah, so 30-day challenge, guys. And I appreciate you joining in with me and hanging in there with me. And I hope you keep coming back and watching my previous lives that I had the previous 2 evenings. Um, they're out there on my Love the Game 24/7 um, YouTube, and you can go out there and view some of the videos I put out already, and also, like I said, the previous two lives that I had that have been recorded. They're out there, and I'm just trying to give some more time for some other folks to get on board here, and I'm excited uh, once. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And, give it a few more minutes before we get started. And some things we'll kind of go back over again a little bit. Maybe some new folks on that are joining the live with Love the Game 24/7. So I'll kind of go over some things. And if you haven't been here and you haven't heard it, like I say, go back and listen to the previous two, and you'll see how I'm kind of building on some of the information that I already have given and kind of going back over it somewhat and just breaking it down into parts, into pieces with this next 30-day challenge that we have. Um, and so that's kind of what my plan is for uh, my 30-day challenge with Love the Game 24/7 sports talk. And so um, I'm gonna go ahead and get some things going, but I just want to get you guys hyped up and get ready to ride this train with Coach Smith. And so I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you all. And I'm kind of messing around with some of my controls as I learning some of this stuff. But I get you guys hyped about football recruiting process. I want you to get on this train with me. I'm getting outside my comfort zone and starting to get a little more comfortable. But I appreciate you guys. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started here. Um, and what I want to start out with is just um, thanking you guys, like I said, once again for joining me. And and so what we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to kind of reiterate some stuff, and I'm going to go through my 6-step recruiting process, um, which is my method is called Driven, and it's an acronym that I gave. Um, and on some previous um, lives that I've done, I kind of explained what Driven is all about. And I'm taking last night I went over um, the acronym again, just with the letter D, and I'm gonna go over the letter D and R tonight, and just recapture and re um, uh, get folks to understand how I can help with my method, 6-step method of going through the recruiting process. And as always have always shared, it's something that I personally have gone through myself in my recruiting, and that's how I put this method together from my own personal experience and what I use for my kids, and and I've developed this method of how to help you parents and your student athlete achieve multiple athletic scholarship opportunities. And so I just wanted to um, go back over some things that I've already have touched on, and what we're definitely going to be talking about is um, let me just say this: the first letter in the process was D in my driven 6-step method, and that was dedication, determination, and drive. And so, parents and student athletes, you have to have that first letter in the driven concept. You got to have some drive. You got to have some dedication. You got to be determined. That's what's going to help you get through, as we've shared. And so I don't want to hang too much on that tonight, but I just want to bring that across because tonight I'm going over the R in the 6-step method. But and I have some other things I'm going to share. Um, but last night we talked about letter D, and I also touched on about um, how you can get my ebook on my. You go out to my Facebook and join my Facebook. I appreciate if you guys subscribe down there in the left. You should see the subscription button. Also, if you go out to my Facebook, um, Love the Game 24/7, and join my group page, you will see the ebook that I put out there about how to leverage summer camps to help uh, kids get multiple scholarship offers. And so we kind of discussed that last night, and I'll reiterate some of those things again as well. But like I said, you got to have some drive, you got to be determined, and you got to be dedicated to your goal, your vision of your desire of playing at the next level. And so that's what the D stood for in my 6-step method, driven. And then um, the letter R in the driven 6-step method is relationships. And it's vital that as a parent, student athlete, that we build relationships. And I share, you need to be sure you have good relationships with your teammates. Of course, you got to have that. And that's how you guys are going to play well together. and accomplish some great things at the high school level, you got to definitely be sure you work on um, having some very um, good relationships with classmates, just good relationships overall in general with people. Nobody's perfect, but you that has to be really like a main focus, being sure that you learn how to have positive and genuine relationships. There's nothing like having a relationship with um, your teammates, people you spend most of your time with as you're growing up playing whatever sport it is that you're playing, or maybe it's multiple sports that you're playing. And there's nothing like some of the relationship that you're going to realize that you've built over the years growing up, and even from high school and even to college. There's going to be some great bonds and great relationships, and there's nothing like uh, sports. Sports brings together people from different backgrounds, different races, uh, just diversity. That's what sports brings, and it's great having those opportunity to have relationships with people that you've met for the first time from other parts of the your state, other part of your um, the country, the world, and especially at the college level, you get all that. And I know I experienced that. I had teammates from Mexico, Canada, other parts of the country. I went from Florida to the Midwest and Iowa. Um, Met some guys that I'm still tight with today, are some of my teammates that I played college alongside with, on the going to battle with, going to war with, having the same goal, playing, at Morningside College where I played college football Division II. Um, and so I still keep in contact with a lot of those guys, even a lot of my high school buddies I grew up playing little league football and all the way up to high school football with. I still have some of those strong bonds and some of those strong relationships. And for you guys growing up in middle school and high school, getting ready to come into that experience, there's nothing like having those types of relationships, and they're important. And as this relationships pertain to you trying to get multiple athletic scholarship opportunities, you know, these are what college recruiters are looking for. They're looking to see, they're trying to get to know you and build a relationship with you, to get to know you, to see how well you will fit into their program. And so it's vital that, they build a relationship with you, and not just through social media, but through you going to these summer camps. It's important that you put a face with a name, and that has to go beyond social media. And some of these coaches, when they hit the recruiting trail and visiting high schools, because you started a relationship with them via maybe social media or email, phone call, whatever it may be, um, that you started with that recruiter, um, it's going to be important that you maintain those great relationships. Okay, um, that's very, very, very important. Let me just see it 1 second, guys. Just kind of an echo here. I want to get rid of the echo. Um, Make sure, just hearing a little echo. I'm learning how to use my soundboard. Um, but yes, I just want to be sure you guys are understanding the importance of my concept, 6-step method, and about, like I said, the D, dedication, determination, and drive, are relationships. It's important for parents at this level, at the middle school and high school level, that you build a relationship, a very good relationship with coaches and other parents, that you're going to be spending a lot of time with, going to these games and traveling together. It's going to be important that you all work together to help benefit everybody student athlete who desires to go to the next level. And so this is important. This is going to help your student athlete perform well when they know there's no drama going on within the family of that team uh, you're playing with. And so it's important um, that we teach our kids about the importance of building genuine and good relationships. Hey, everybody sometimes get tired and get frustrated or whatever the case may be. Um, but it's very important that you realize that building a relationship with your teammates, with teachers, um, you're going to it's important that you get your grades and your test scores, and you want to have a good relationship with teachers that can help you be sure that you achieve that and get the right courses and classes, the core courses that you need to take. in order for the National Clearinghouse to accept your classes that you've taken in high school. So it's going to be vital that you have a good relationship with your guidance counselor, your advisor, your teacher. Um, it's going to be important that you have some people like that to help guide you to be sure you're taking the right courses. So you need to have a good relationship with your teacher. You know, and somebody who's familiar with that. Um, and as you get familiar with that about what classes you need to take, it's going to be important you have a good relationship with your advisor. Be sure that you're enrolled in the proper courses that you need, right? Um, and definitely it's important you have a good relationship with your head coach or your position coach or your offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, depending upon, even if you don't play offense, it's still good to have a good relationship with the offensive uh, coordinator or position coach. If you're on defense, if you don't play defense, you still need to have a good relationship with all your coaches. They all see you and spend time with all you guys every day, and so it's important that you learn to have good relationships with people, and that you learn that it's not always about you. It's about everybody. It's about each other. You know, in order for you to have some individual personal success, you need to have some good relationships. Um, and with other people. You have to be just as much concerned about other people's concerns just as much as you are about your own concerns. So if you want some individual success, you got to have a team mindset. You got to have a family mindset. That you want everybody to do well and succeed. Whatever your teammates' goals are. So and you're going to have some teammates who or have that same goal and passion that you have to want to possibly play at the next level. And so it's invited you have a good relationship and you help each other out. Everything that I learned when I got information when I was in high school about camps and all that, I made a point to make sure I shared it with all my teammates who were interested, that I knew who was um, interested in going and play at the next level. I hung around most of my friends. I would have to say probably more than half of them were smarter than me. And that was something my father always told us, don't always hang around, you know, yeah, of course you want to be a light and you want to lift other people up. Of course you want to do that. But that can't always be. You need to get around some people that are smarter than you, some people that are going to give you some positive peer pressure. Because I had some friends that I know were smarter than me. They put pressure on me to be sure I had good grades because I didn't want to stand out as somebody who didn't have good grades. So that put pressure on me to make sure I studied and make sure I kept up with my smarter friends. It was a positive peer pressure because of the relationship that I had with them, and I knew I had friends that would help me because they knew I would help them. But anything I found out about a camp or a college that's interested, um, in recruiting, or some of us at my high school, I did everything I could to make sure that I told my friends about how to write letters. I helped my friends write letters because I had good, strong relationships and bonds with my quite a few of my teammates, and I didn't want any of them to be left behind because I knew they were just as good, if not better, than I was, and I wanted them to be able to go off to college because I hung around guys who were like minded, like I was, that want to go and play college football at the next level, you know, from high school. And so it's important that you have good, strong relationships. It's important that as parents, that we're exemplifying that. Those are some things that I did and that my wife did. Having good, strong relationships and bonds with people that, like I said, we still have today, just from my kids playing from little league sports all the way from up to high school and to the college level. And, one thing I meant to say at the beginning is, there's a lot of good um, content out there um, about recruiting and college and playing at the next level. But I don't think, and I listen to quite a few people that I think are really good. Before you go pro, my buddy out in California, um, look him up before you go pro. You guys look him up, Google it. He does a great job of working with young people in college, uh, kids and beyond. Um, and but there's a lot of good content out there, but I don't think there's many people, you know, that are doing sort of like what I'm doing, trying to help coach parents and students from middle school, you know, even younger than that, but definitely from middle school up to high school, they have a desire to get to the next level and play college sports. But there's a lot of great content out there. But I think what I've been gifted to do is to come at it at a different little angle. Um, and what I mean by that is, um, uh, I'm coming at you because I'm coming at you as a former player at every level. I can go back. I played football from little league to high school, college, and had the opportunity to play pro ball. So with my um, podcasts and different things that I'm going to be talking to you, parents and student athletes about, I'm coming from you from that experience as a player at every level. You know, I'm also coming to you, as a coach who coached, little league and coach high school for over a decade. I'm coming at you from that level. I'm also coming at you from a level as a dad, um, of um, at every level. I coach all my kids, both my boys, little league, high school. You know, I was involved with my oldest son who played college ball and still involved with him today as he's in the NFL. So, I'm coming at you from all three of those levels. Like I said, as a former player at every level, because I've had the blessing and the opportunity to be at every level. I'm coming at you as a coach who coached high school football over a decade. And I'm going to tell you, um, and let me just say and repeat this, and I'm coming to you as a dad of kids who played at every level and are playing currently as well. Um, but I'm gonna tell you from my experience as a coach, in my over 10 years coaching, when college recruiters come on campus, they already know the guys who are getting offers by everybody, or for some you know, um, major offers. So a lot of times I'm talking to coaches, even from big schools, they wanted to know. I have been asked on many occasions as a coach when college recruiters come and watch us back in Florida playing spring football. They're asking me about who's the next kid. Who are the next kids? They're going to ask coaches that. Who are the next kids they need to be looking at that's coming up? Because they already know some of these guys already, these rising seniors, some of these guys are, you see now some of these guys commit early and different things of that nature. Um, and I made a point to build a relationship as an assistant coach with college recruiters, not just for my son. There's a lot of kids that I put on um, with schools because I've had relationships with some college recruiters, and I made a point to get business cards, you know, keep in contact with some college recruiters. I made a point to do that, and I'll still do it today. I have some good relationships at every level that I can tap into, and because of those 3 points that I told you that I'm coming with, like I said, there's a lot of great content out there, but I'm coming to you as somebody who is experienced playing at every level. I'm coming to you as someone who coached some kids at pretty much every level. As a high school coach, I'm coming to you as a dad who's coached their kids at every level and currently being involved. And so, like I said, many times I was off to the side at spring football, and a college recruiter or several of them would come up to me and say, "Hey, coach, you know, um, who who should we be watching? What kids are you thinking?" Um, or if they see a kid when they come out there practicing. They already know about the kids who are getting offers, and sometimes they just coming out there just to keep um, the opportunity for them to sign a kid. But they're still also when they see a kid or they ask me who some kids are, you know, they're trying to see um, who's the next rising seniors in the next year or two that they need to be already trying to build relationships with, or so they can get some information out to you or send some information to the head coach because they saw when you're on a team where other kids are being recruited, um, they're gonna be looking at other kids, you know, and so um, that's why it's important to have good relationships and you make sure that you always one thing that's very important is that what we call integrity. What are you doing when you don't think somebody's watching you? Not necessarily when you know somebody's not watching you, but what are you doing? That's what integrity is. How are you preparing? We talked about that. I talked about that. How are you preparing when you don't think anybody's watching you for the season or for your academics? Or what are you doing to try to help yourself get multiple scholarship offers? Are you tapping into someone like me, love the game 247 Sports, who's uh, going to open up some more opportunities to give more, even deeper uh, information on what you can do personally and as a student athlete and as a parent? You got to ask yourself that. What are you dedicating? What are you determined? What is your drive? What is keeping you going? Knowing that you have this goal and this desire to play at the next level and you potentially can. And as we talked about how you leverage the summer camps, that's important. Um, and one thing that I was going to um, talk to you a little bit more about that, why I said, how the summer camps can help you leverage multiple scholarship opportunities. But one thing about these summer camps, why they're important, it helps student athletes, you know, especially the young ones, to learn how to deal with and respond to competition. When you go to these camps, these coaches, they're going to do drills and things for kids to compete in because they're trying to see, you know, what kids um, how they're reacting to the competition that they're putting you in situations. They're going to put you in situations. And so they want to see how some of the kids react and respond uh, to being in competition because you're trying to go to the next level. And each level you go up, it gets more and more meaningful, more and more serious. Okay. And it's more and more important as you go up each level. Um, and so when you go to these summer camps, it's going to help you develop, as a young student athlete, as a high school student athlete to get you prepared for the next level. And it's going to help you see some other kids, you know, and how some other kids react and respond, so you can learn, or just yourself. Sometimes you can take and glean from other people and learn some things. And some people can learn some things from you from what they saw, how you participated at the summer camp. Um, and so be, very mindful of that, why these summer camps are important. Um, Another thing, like I said, is going to help develop you to see if you shy away from competition or do you step up to the competition or do you meet that competition, within yourself to get better every day, as well as to some of these other student athletes that you're competing out there with for scholarships. One thing about sports is real life. You know, One thing that sports teaches us is life lessons. How to get along with other people, like I'm talking about. You know, with our relationships, how do you get along with people? Even sometimes when because when you're in training and summer camp, and when we grew up, we did 2 a days and 3 days, man. And you're seeing the same guy every day, and so sometimes we get frustrated. We're tired, and somebody likes to play and and you're not really up for playing. You know, um, how do you respond? You know, um, and so this is important. And when you go to summer camps, especially if you go, for maybe more than one day and you staying overnight with guys, how do you get along? Um, and so are you a leader, or are you a follower type guy? So these coaches get to sit back and analyze and watch and see what's happening. Um, and it also helps you to learn how to, like I said, look at yourself more um, on what you need to improve upon, to give yourself a better opportunity and even to perform for your high school team, you know, and help your high school team do well as helping yourself get scholarships opportunities. So that's what these summer camps can help you leverage, help you bring back some ideas with your teammates. Um, it'll help you see what coaching is like. There's going to be some coaches that's going to be, you know, they might be saying all kinds of things, getting on you and leaning on you, you know. And so, can you handle, a coach getting on you hard, you know, because he or she is trying to pull out your best because they feel like you're not performing as up to your level, or that you're capable of. So you're going to get some coaches that's going to lean on you, you know, um, and so you got to be able to handle that. So when you go to these summer camps, as you grow up going through these, from middle school all the way up through high school, that's what these summer camps are going to help you understand and help you realize, do you really want to do what it takes to play at the next level? Do you really want to take on this um, opportunity that you could potentially have? So going to these summer camps and meeting different coaches and figuring out, these different personalities, and how you get along with other people. So that's and how a coach's style of coaching. You know, how well do you respond to how a certain coach coaches you compared to how you what you had from little league and high school. Um, and the thing, this is the thing that you definitely got to listen to. What I'm about to say here, when when I'm talking about going and playing at the next level in college, you got to realize that these coaches are trying to feed their families. Okay, it's a job or it's a career for these coaches. I don't care what sport it is. At the college level, it's a job and it's a career, and it means more. They're getting paid a salary. They are looking for the next best talent to bring into their program to help them keep a job. All of us have watched sports. We just heard today the Northwestern coach being fired. Because of I didn't really get to hear a whole lot of it yet. I'm going to tap into it as I watch Sports Center and all that stuff tonight, and pull up some articles and see what was going on. But this is what I'm talking about. As it goes up each level, especially college and pro, it's serious because these coaches are trying to feed their family. They're trying to be at a program, for a long time, unless they have some head coaching aspirations. Um, but they're trying to feed their families, their job and their careers on the line. And so it's important that they find those type of student athletes that they feel going to help keep them a job. And you got to understand it as a student athlete, as a parent, you know. Um, so this becomes, like I said, a lot more serious and meaningful. Um, the coaches' jobs are on the line. Um, like I said, you know, they're trying to feed their families, um, and and it's a lot more serious. Um, and these coaches are going to be more tense and more fired up, and it's because they love the game 24/7, like what I'm talking about. They love the game, and they love seeing young men and young women who come and compete and uh, and get something out of it, like they, hope for or get more out of it. And because you've had a great experience at a particular university or college that you may attend, um, I know there's a lot of talk about guys in the transfer portal. You know, there's a lot with that, that we can speak on. There's some legitimate reasons why some guys are transferring, and they probably should. Sometimes there is, sometimes maybe a kid shouldn't transfer, but they are. It's their decision, and they're going to have to live with it. But you best be sure when you make that decision, you better be sure you dotted your I's and cross your T's as best as you know how, or get some information from, from a mentor, somebody who knows what's going on in this uh, game of sports at the next level. Um, and this also allows your student athlete to decide if this, like I said, if this is something they really want to do. You know, it gives them a glimpse by going to these summer camps and getting coached hard. And so it's important, that you start as early as possible. Like I said, middle school, and getting your kids out there, you know, seeing how they respond to competition, seeing how they respond to other kids from other parts of the city, state, country, world, wherever they may be from. The game of football is much more global today than it was when I grew up. So you got kids, coming from all over the world, you know, and some kids don't mature until, you know, high school or college. Some kids grow fast physically, but mentally, maybe they didn't keep up with how fast their body grew, and they're just like a freak of nature, just how big and strong and fast they are, you know. And so, my wife's a nurse for 30 something years, so she always says that um, front part of the brain isn't fully developed until you're in your early 20s. Um, and so sometimes we wonder how, like, why some of our kids respond or did some things. Um, and we can even look back at some things we did and say, yeah, I wasn't too smart, wasn't too bright. And my wife was like, from her medical background, she's like, yeah, that front part of your brain isn't totally developed where you make those kinds of decisions. Sometimes we don't make good decisions, you know. But like I said, sports is life, man. The ups and downs of the game, of whatever sport you're playing. You know, um, are you a momentum changer? Are you that person? Are you him? Are you hurt? You know, do you have some bounce back in you, ability in you? Do you know how to bounce back from tough situations, even when things don't maybe go your way? You know, do you have what it takes? You know, in a game situation. You know, even in high school, and even in your little league games, you got to start now. Parents, we got to make sure we encourage our kids. To learn from whatever situation, whether it be a good situation or a tough, situation that they just went through, losing a game or whatever the case may be. You know, do you have some bounce back? You know, are you able to, um, in a game where, things weren't going your way early on, are you going to be a guy who, or a young lady who just keeps speaking negatively, or you going to have a positive mindset, knowing that, hey, there's 4 quarters in most games, there are 4 quarters or 2 halves. So we get a halftime, we get a breather to where we can come back and reassess our game plan. Did we put the right game plan together? You know, and if we have to make some adjustments at halftime, we're going to make those adjustments. You know, and that's what's important about relationships. Do you have a relationship to where you have influence with your teammates? So when you need them to bounce back and step up and let's meet this competition. Hey, we're gonna have to change our game plan. We're gonna have to come with a little more fire because this team we're playing right now is a lot better than we thought they were. You know, and we got to be ready to step up to the plate. And so this is what you know, um, uh, can tell you about why these summer camps are important and why you got to be sure you have that D in driven. You got to have that dedication. You got to have that determination. You got to have that drive. you know, and R. We'll talk about the other letters. We'll talk about I tomorrow, but um, R, man, do you have relationships? Have you uh, built and worked on having some strong relationships with your teammates, with your coaches? I told my son one thing because he was a quarterback. I said, man, you got to be sure you have a good relationship with the head coach, that they believe and trust in you as a quarterback. You got to have a good relationship with the offensive coordinator. I would tell my son, hey man, sometimes in between class, if you got a break, go to the coach's office and hit him up and make sure, hey, if you need to peek at some game film, you know, of the team you're getting ready to play, will be the first person in the locker room to be in there with the offensive coordinator to go over some film of the game plan, to perfect that game plan. And he wasn't totally comfortable with that, as a 10th and 11th grader coming in playing quarterback. But I, told him, hey, this is important, especially when you're the guy touching the ball more than anybody in your quarterback. You know, that coach has the trust in you. And I don't care what position you play, you need to make sure you have a good relationship with your position coach and with your offensive coordinator, your defensive coordinator, your special teams coordinator. It's important. So you get to tap into their brain, how they're thinking. They know and they learn how you think and how you can respond. Then they learn about, okay, what plays they can call because they know you're gonna be a game changer for them. That you're not afraid of the moment. You know, and so that's why it's important to build relationships on and off the field. With your teammates and with your coaches on and off the field. It's vital because you get to know each other. I know because I had a good relationship with my quarterbacks growing up in high school and college. Man, when I'm on the field, we can just look at each other without saying a word because of that relationship we had. Because of stuff that we talked about off the field, at lunch, on the bus ride or plane ride, before the game or whatever it may be, or just hanging out at the house, playing video games here and there, um, and so because you have those relationships with each other, man, and conversations you've had, man, oh yeah, man, we get in the game and I like this play, and hey, if I see this coverage, man, I'm gonna give you that look, or I'm just gonna rub my chin or rub my nose or something, or just spread my eyes open a little wider or something. You start building a relationship with each other, and you kind of pick up on each other's tendencies and know, hey, when we're in a game situation, and I need you know my buddy Jeff to make a play. I need little Johnny or Susie to make a play, and because we have that relationship with each other, and when we're in competition, I know I can count on you, and you can count on me. So that's why it's important to hang out with each other, do some things together. Sometimes you do need a break from each other. Absolutely, you do need a break from each other, no doubt. You know, Um, but you don't need to break too long. But everybody needs a little breather, and sometimes you need time away from the game. Do something else, like go to the beach or something. Whatever you guys like to do together. But it's important to have those relationships. It's important for parents to have relationship with the coaches and volunteering and seeing where you can be of a help to the coach. Seeing where you can alleviate some of his stress, um, or for any coach. You know, so that's. Um, I hope I gave you some vital, good information tonight. Um, I just hope that you just continue to rock with me and ride on this train with me as I do my 30-day uh, live commitment and challenge that we have going on with some of the group that I'm involved with. And I just want to be sure, that I just share some of those important things about uh, what it takes to get multiple scholarship opportunities while you're young, starting now. You don't want to wait to do this stuff when you're later in life. No, we learn this stuff now. You know, there's some adults that still need to learn this. There's some things I still need to learn, absolutely. But, like I said, I know there's a lot of great content out there about, sports and college sports and recruiting and all that stuff. There's a lot of great information out there, and I love it and I soak it up as well myself. I even pull things from it, or I'm reminded of some things um, that I see. And one thing I tell you, even though we have social media, there's one thing that still doesn't change when it comes to recruiting, and I don't think will ever change, and that's personal relationship. That college recruiter still wants you to physically show up to a summer football camp or whatever camp your sport is. That coach is or that recruiter is going to show up to your game. That recruiter is going to want to meet your parents. And then social media can't help you with that. And you need to be prepared and ready on on those things when you have to meet somebody, personally. But that part of recruiting has not changed. You know, when that recruiter turns on that video, like we talked about having your huddle link, you know, when that recruiter looks at that video, they need to see that you play different at a different speed than everybody else. You know, not just necessarily physically speed, but speed and knowing the game, knowing where to be, where I'm supposed to be. I know some guys that weren't that fast, but boy, up here in their head and reading the play and understanding and deciphering a play and what was happening, you know, they were really good at doing that. So that took, because they may not have had great speed, they had decent speed, they had enough speed, but man, because they watched film, because they did all that extra stuff, they honed in on their strengths. They tried to strengthen their weaknesses, but the strengths they made stronger. And so when they had to read a play or respond to a play, they knew where to be before that other person knew where to be. And it made them look like, you know, they were moving faster. But if you can physically move faster, that needs to be seen on video. If you can decipher and read a play faster, that needs to be exemplified on that video, on that huddle link, you know. And like I said, that has never changed and will never change about recruiting. When that coach is going to want to come see if you pass the eye test. Okay. They see you on film and that may get their attention. And now when they come see you in person, they want to see if what they saw on video matches up live and in color, face to face when they come to a game. They also want to see how you're going to respond when you know they're coming to a game to watch you. And it's not just watching a video later. When you know mentally and you got to perform, you know, you got to know how to handle that and still play at a high level. Not worrying about, hey, I'm gonna pretend they're here even when they're not here when I'm playing ball. Because you never know, somebody might be watching. Like I said, integrity is what you're doing when you don't think anybody's watching you. Somebody is watching you. And so you got to be mindful of that as a student athlete. And that's going to help you get multiple, scholarship offers. But like I said, there's a lot of people with some great content, but I don't know if anybody's coming at you with what Love the Game 24/7 Sports is coming with you with this information, you know, and from personal experience, like I said, I'm coming at you with this information from somebody who was blessed to play at every level, had opportunity to play at every level, you know, and somebody who has coached at the high school level and has a son that played at every level, you know. And so I'm telling you right now, I'm coming with some knowledge. I'm coming with some smoke. you know, to help you get some multiple scholarship opportunities, you know. And so I just appreciate you tonight, hanging with me. I'm not going to be long tonight. I'm getting ready to sign off on this thing here, but I appreciate, my Love the Game 247 community joining in with me. And please, um, hey, be sure to um, keep on top of my Facebook site on what coach is doing, and so I just hope that you guys stay plugged in with Love the Game 247 Sports, and thank you once again for hanging with me tonight, and I look forward to seeing who will join me tomorrow. We're going to talk about the driven concept, 6-step method. We're going to be talking about the I, and so um, let's let's keep it going. All right. Thank you for rocking with me, Coach Smith. And hey, let's have a great summer of preparation and get ready for a great fall season for a lot of you guys and young ladies for your sport. And yeah, be sure to subscribe, hit that subscribe button down there on the YouTube that you're watching on, and also be sure to go out to my Facebook and join my page. And like I said, there's gonna be a lot of great stuff coming your way that I'm going to be sharing. Important information to join me in some other things as well. To partner up with me, Love the Game 247 Sports. I'll be coming out with some merch as well for all my Love the Game 247 partners. Uh, and so I'm working on a lot of different things. And I appreciate you being here with me tonight and watching and listening up. But like I said, I'm bringing the smoke every day on this 30-day challenge, giving some great insight on how to get you some multiple scholarship opportunities at the next level and playing the college level. So thanks again for tonight. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow again at 7:30. Be here, okay? Be here and ride the train with Coach Smith. All right. Blessings. Peace out.